Hey everyone, I'm Clue, and the next comp we're going to go over is mining. Now, of course, this does not look like a mining comp now, does it? Right? 6 thieves, treasure shovels, bullseye shield, right? The reason for this is I want exactly 80 item find. According to the wiki, 80 item find is the amount of item find that gets you the most amount of guaranteed drops without heading into the rarer items, or rather I say the equipment items, because a big thing for the mining comp is the chef, right? So at the moment, our chef only has 2,454 food items to use, right? And if we look at the majority of the food items, what you'll find is that the majority are in the uncommon resource slot, right? So again, you want around 80 item find to hit this mark, and the treasure shovels, easy to craft. You can just craft them from the blacksmith using some materials from the primal lands. Same with the bullseye target. Now, again, you don't have to use these. These are just the minimal way for me to reach 80, but as long as you're aiming for that 80 item find. Now, as for 6 thieves, we'll get to that in a second. I just want to show off the treasure shovel, right? So 10 iron, 10 wood, and then just 10 of these mysterious seeds, which you can just farm up in the primal lands. Again, they're not a huge drop. Just spend some time grinding and you will find some of them. But the thieves, the reason we want the thieves is because we're going to ransack everything, right? That's the easiest thing to do. It does damage, so it still clears, but it has a chance to steal gold, item, and an essence. You can also use pilfer, but pilfer is a 50-50 between the two, whereas this is more of a chance to get an item. And again, the big thing we want is items so that we can use the mining comp optimally. So I'm going to set up the script. It's going to be super simple. It's basically just pilfer, pilfer, pilfer. I have to do a double take, sorry. It is ransack, ransack, ransack. So enemy, any ransack. And I'm pretty sure you also want enemy, any default attack, because for instance, on bosses, if they're taking more than one hit, it won't try to ransack again, I'm pretty sure. It'll go to a default attack in this case because it knows it can't ransack an enemy twice because then it has nothing to drop. Right, so I think that should be fine for the scripts. Go ahead and just assign that to the thieves. Item find, perfect. And yeah, I'm just going to use battle credits and we'll see how many resources we find. So currently, again, we're at 2,454, right? And then we'll just spend, I don't know, like 10K, maybe 10K again, and see how many items we do find. In terms of the key settings, you want healing fairies and bonus chests and save enough, because again, we don't have any form of regen, so healing fairies will be able to recoup our thieves in terms of MP and HP if they're starting to take a little bit of damage. We have 6 units, so they should be able to clear. The only time we should be taking damage is off of ambushes. So again, bonus treasure and healing fairies. You could run the key bringer and other stuff to boost key find, right, to make sure that you can take every single path offered. But, well, I'm not going to, because again, I just want to show off the minimalist approach, if you will. Okay, so we'll go ahead, start at 1, since it's the easiest, turn quick battles on, and we'll spend 10K. Right, there we go. Spent the 10K. We will just end, view our loots. We're not going to go through the screen. The easiest thing to do is just go check out the chef, right? So we went from 2,400 to 18,000 after 10,000 credits. So we got roughly 1.8 items per credit. 1.6 items per credit used, which is, you know, pretty decent return. Again, we could tie around with item find, see if we can get a little bit better, but I think that's fine. Again, pilfering and yeah, just getting our items. Now, why do we need the items? Because the mining comp we're going to use is this, right? We have our chef, we have our 4 miners and a janitor, right? Equipped with what I think is the maximum item find. Sorry, not max, all find, right? Right, so then as for the actual script, I'm tempted though. We're at perfect. I guess 999 is just what we're at. Curious, if we equip something. Sorry, I'm getting off topic. It's been a while since I looked at this comp. We equip that and then more ore find. Where's the ore gems? What are the ore gems? Do I have no more? Is that the case? 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, that's all of them. But still, that should, yeah, 108. Don't mind me, I'm just going crazy. So 999 is not the cap, it just looks like it could be the cap. Still, we want the frying pans because we want to try and regen resources as we're going, because we will just burn through what our chef has on offer. But the big thing with the chef is the magma souffle. So next ore vein produces 1+ resources, max 5 uses for ingredients. So we need lots of ingredients, and that's all we want the chef to do. Now, the reason we have the setup as 4 miners, 1 janitor is so that we get the perfect amount of hits on every single ore node. Mainly uranium. Uranium's the big thing. So if we do the mental math, Right, so Magma Souffle requires 5 rounds to stack up to its maximum. Okay, then off of the miners, right, if we count it out, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So by the time they clear the ore, they will have reached the maximum stack of Magma Souffles, which is perfect for uranium. Again, uranium is the big thing, same with labradorite. Labradorite? Did I say it right? They're the big 2 ores that you want to farm up in the endgame, right? For plating, because the labradorite's for battle credits, and then uranium is for the stat boost. Now, the reason I'm just running the janitor, the Thorback picks gives 50 ore find, so it's a huge bonus, and then also the janitor prevents other janitors, right? No other reason, we're not actually using the janitor hits, they're just going to defend. As for the script, here's what we have. So enemy is an ore, transmute, enemy is an ore, default attack, self, if in position 6, defend, and then enemy is ore, default attack, right? So pretty similar to the soda sign cheese. Again, just setting up for one of the miners to transmute and then all the other miners to wail on the ore, as well as the chef to buff itself, right? In terms of transmuting, if you land uranium, it does get a bit wonky there, but we are mainly emphasizing maximizing souffle stacks on a mineshaft, right? The big hassle though is if the uranium ore isn't the top priority ore. There it gets a bit wonky because again, the souffle is max 5. But I am curious, I don't know if it's max 5 in a combat or max 5, and then if you clear it, you can stack it back up. If you can stack it back up, this is the optimal comp, right? Because then each ore will have basically its max stacks, depending on how much HP the ore has, right? We'll get to 5, and we'll get to 5 for uranium, but then something like iron, right, will only take 2 rounds or 1 pass at it, right? So chef, magma souffle, 4 hits, chef, and then hits. So yeah. Should be the ideal setup, mainly for uranium. But, big question. We'll try it normal for starters. This time we want mine shafts. We're not going to worry about saving keys for healing fairies, because again, if you're farming ore, you should be doing it at the lowest floors possible, where the ore is guaranteed its highest drop rate. For instance, according to the wiki, the uranium's highest drop rate is guaranteed at 5001, right? This is the maximum drop rate. I don't know if it continues to scale, but according to the wiki, from 5000 onwards, usually items have a max drop rate, and I would assume that the ore nodes are the same. So you start at 5000, right? You have your mining comp, you have mine shafts enabled, and then you just let it play out. Now, we'll try it normally, but we can see what happens, right? So 15, we get 2 stacks, 3 stacks, 4 stacks because of the speed, 5 stacks, and it's cleared. So we actually got the maximum there. Actually, there you go. That's something I never accounted for. The chef's speed bonus, right? So we'd probably clear a little bit quicker. You might want to, in that case, swap out the janitor, right? Because we're just going to waste resources in this scenario. Yeah, I never accounted for his speed, interestingly, right? In this case, you'd probably just swap the janitor to another miner and still keep the same mentality, and the magma souffle should stack up. I would like to find uranium or transmute into uranium and see, but we should get a decent chunk of ore from letting this play out. Now, of course, I am most likely just going to let it go off of battle credits, right? So we can see how much ore we do find, and then cycle between this and now our item find comp. Was anyone counting? Was that 5 stacks? It was definitely at least 5. 2, 3, 4. So that time we missed out on 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Interesting. I wish there was more utility to those scripts. To be honest, that would be the perfect patch if they just added more utility to the scripts. Be fun. But yeah, I think we're going to actually fix this up. Instead of going with the janitor, we'll go with another miner. Although you could just have the janitor attack. Just take off the Thorbix pick would be the thing to do. So there's 2 ways of thinking about this, right? We could just stick a slow stone on the chef. We do that. Why do I have this? They can't be hit. Can they? Evades all attacks, yeah. Interesting. Stick a slow stone on them, right? So then they can never go twice. In which case the miners will go first. 1 will transmute, then we get 3, 7, 11, 15, 19, 20. Pretty sure uranium is 20. Why do I have a sinking feeling it's 25? I don't think the HPs are on the wiki. They are. It's 20 HP, right? So again, they go first. Say we have a uranium ore. 4, 1 stack. 8, 2 stacks. 12, 3 stacks. 16, 4 stacks. 20, 5 stacks. So in that case, we lose out, we're doing too much damage then. In a transmute room, though, if we luck into it, it'll be fine. So I think, yeah, the best bet to do is give you something else. That'd be way too much speed. I'm pretty sure you would end up stacking like crazy, right? I wonder how many goes you'd get. That might be worth to always max stacks. You'd burn through your resources so quickly, because again, how speed works is eventually they'll go back to back to back. At 65, they'll go back to back to back, more so than just 50. I don't think there's anything else I would be interested in running. You know, we'll give that a go, right? And we will swap out the janitor for another miner, just because the miner has the base ore find, right? Which I think I prefer over enemy janitors. Enemy janitors are no big deal, right? Although we do lose 1 trinket slot. How much ore find does a miner have been built? 25. We only get 8 from a trinket slot, so yes, that's definitely worth it. And while we're at it, why don't we just go for max ore find? So 1076, right? Again, I don't want to use the pick because it instantly clears ore, which we don't want, even though 1124. That is tempting. Extra 25 off of a gem would probably be worth more, but I don't have any more ore find gems. Right, so for now we'll just go radioactive rods. We will save the comp. Get rid of you, save you. There's the little stone. I feel like it gives me HP, not ore find. Yeah, damage reduction. I guess you could do evasion, you could do anything you want. You could set up to farm battle credits at the same time. We'll just stick with what it is. Right, so ore finding comp, we'll spend 10k. Again, we'll probably eat through our food. Why is it not showing up? Do I have too much? Can we see here? Yeah, there we go, 18,260. I guess it's just too much to show up in that little bar. But yeah, we'll probably end up burning through our food. I'll do 1,000 floors, actually, to start off. Everything's saved, I hope. The script needs tweaking. So your mining, we just get rid of this one. Right, easy peasy. And then credits, again, mine shafts start at 5,000 for uranium, and we'll spend 1,000 credits, and we'll see if this burns through the 18,000 food straight away. Be nice and quick. Perfect. And few loot. Okay, what ore did we find? So off of that, we got 994 gold, right? 1.9k silver, lots of ore. 32 uranium, 256 platinum, which is the big thing, right? 32 per 1,000 credits is nothing to slouch at, but resource-wise, down to 3, right? So again, it's gonna, if you really want to do this efficiently, right, you probably, in all honesty, better off just going for ore over switching between the two, unless you have a lot of battle credits. But again, I like making use of the souffle. What is this? Why did it just auto equip? Isn't that off? Yeah, auto equip's off. I guess if you hire it, it defaults. That's interesting. No, bad. You guys should have nothing, right? Because I don't want to disrupt my beautiful item find. No, in this scenario, unless we're using if we're using battle credits, you go for like gold. If you're not using battle credits, I guess you'd set up for battle credits. But we'll get a bunch of resources, and then we'll do some showcases, if you will. Sorry, not battle credits. You know what I mean. Items, food, resources. Which we might as well test Primal Lands vs Castle at the same time. Right, so you're starting at 3. We'll do 10,000 floors in the castle, and we'll do 10,000 floors in Primal Lands and see which one nets us better item find. I wish it saved your items correctly. It's kind of annoying. Right, because again, I'm pretty sure we want perfectly 80 to maximize item find, or item drops. Right, so 10k in the castle got us 16,213 items, right? Also tweaked the comp a little bit because it was annoying the auto equip, right? So this still nets us perfectly 80 item find, as well as some withering. Also stuck on the frying pans. I don't believe they can proc off of skills, but you never know. Right, so might as well. 16,000 though is comparable to what we got before. So now we'll try the Primal Lands and see if we get more than 16,000 off of 10,000 credits. So annoyingly, 634, right? Because we lost to probably Love Struck, if I had to guess, right? Let me see. Burn, Delirious, yeah, Love Struck. We can still sort of see if it was more, right? I can do the math off of 634 floors. Well, by extrapolating, it works out to 9,936 resources what we would get. So I don't think that's quite right, but it does seem like the Primal Lands is less, despite there should be more enemies because of ambushes. But still, For all intents and purposes, we just want to farm items in the castle. Again, lowest floor so that you can get the most. And yeah, I'm just gonna probably dump, I don't know, we'll do 100,000 credits, right? Because I'd also like to see, you know, roughly how many resources per how many credits, in which case we need to be able to do a run with battle credits and still have resources left over. So we'll just add a 0 to that, right? 100,000, and I'll be back in like a few minutes. Well, there we go, 100,000 done. See the loot. Well, not really, because I'm just gonna skip past the screen. Let's see the chef, right? So, could probably have guessed how many. You just add a 0 to the previous. So instead of 16,000, now we have 160,000. Something worth mentioning though, is if we take a look at the guild rewards, right? A big thing is, where is it? Not arena wait time. There is a item stack one, right? And that is quite important. Isn't there? Sure there is. Is there not? No? Ah, there we go, 3,000. Ah, there you go. Never mind, I thought that was much later. Right, so 9,999 of each resource, because we will eventually hit caps on stuff. I'm curious. If we go to sell, do we have caps on any resources? Wood, yes. A lot of the greens, apparently no. Some of them, at least. 17,000 candles, quite nice. Nah, okay, we're about halfway to a lot of them. Demonic fragments, there you go. Right, so you do want to burn through them and then regain your resources without going too overboard. But now that we have so many, let's grab out the mining comp again. Ore farm, perfect. Right, and let's see how many resources we use. We'll do 1,000 again and see how many resources we end up using. So again, go to 5,000, quick battles on, swap back to mine shafts, not worried about saving keys, and we'll spend 1,000 credits, right? So for 1,000 credits, how many resources do we use? I have no idea because I did not write down the starting number. Very well, how many resources? 36 uranium, that's pretty nice. We'll just see if we have any left over. Right, but this time I will write down the resources so we can actually work it out. So the chef still has, that used a huge chunk, right? 1,000 used like 20. Wow. Okay, but we'll write down, we'll get an accurate number. So 143,078, right, is how many resources we currently have. We'll go ahead, hire the mining comp again, and we will go back to 5,000. We will spend, I can't do 10,000, right, can I? Because that'd be way too many. We'll just do 1,000 credits again, why not? Do 1,000 credits, probably do like 5,000 maybe. Oh, adventure ended. Interesting. Curious what floor? What floor did we go too many turns on? I'm flying a rat. Did I mess up the script? Maybe I messed up the script. Ore mining isn't ore default attack, and that should always come first. Are they just trying to transmute everything? That's probably worrisome. In which case you go the opposite way. You go enemy isn't ore. You use the greater than, right? That should do the trick. So enemy team alive greater than 1, default attack. And when there's one enemy left, you'll try to transmute it. And then is ore, it should just cycle back into default attack. Or it'll continue to try to transmute ore. In which case we go enemy isn't ore. Yeah, that's better. Hopefully that's correct. Let's try again. Right, I have to write down the number. That used a lot more because we looped out, right? That was just an awful waste of resources. Still, 110,389. There we go. IU. Go to 5,000. Spend 1,000 credits. Don't endlessly loop out, which is good. Curious why we looped out on that one and not the first one, but oh well. And view loot. Okay, how many uranium did we get? We got 42, right, which is worth writing down. And how many resources did we end up using? So off of 1,000 credits, we ended up using 25,683 resources. That's a lot. Yeah, it's not really sustainable, but the next point worth testing is a few different things. For one, how many uranium do we get if we don't have a chef, right? So it should still be the same comp, but we just fire you and hire another miner. give them the same setup. So it should go uranium, shield. In fact, you actually can just get away with the pick instead, right? Not on the first one because you'll transmute. Probably the last one, maybe. Again, we're using battle credits, so it doesn't really matter. We're just going for the highest stat number. Give you the grease. Do I not have a uranium plated shield? Wow, that's disappointing. We need to make a new one. I don't know if I have enough slots though, nor do we have another gem. So I guess you just have uranium. I mean, that'll do, right? 12,000 on the dot. Sure, why not? We'll spend 1,000 again from 5,000. And I'm curious if we get more or less uranium. What do you think? Will we get more or will we get less? Right? Is it worth using the chef, or is it worth just going all miners? Well, the answer is less, significantly less, right? But there is one more version to test out, and that is the initial stylization of the comp. So I'm going to burn through all the credits. Actually, you know, when we test Primal Lands too. I don't know if we can survive in the Primal Lands. It's really interesting. We'll do 1,000 credits. Let me write down the resources, because I'm curious if the Primal Lands takes more or less. Right, so we're at 84,819 resources. Go Primal Lands. I assume Labradorite's the same. Let me look it up. Yep, the wiki says Labradorite is the same. We want to go to... That is the wrong way. It's annoying. We want to go to 5,000 again. There we go. Credits. Spend 1,000, and we couldn't make it. Right. So we do have to make some tweaks if we want to mine here, but we did get 6 off of that little amount, which is decent. I do need a chunk more, but we'll finish testing the uranium first. So what I want to do is burn through all the resources, grab a ton of uranium. So I'm just gonna, it was 1,000 per, it was 25,000 per. So if we spend 4,000, that should be everything, right? And just for good measure, we'll spend 5,000. So mine shafts, 5,000 credits, and see when it's done. Side note, switch on healing fairies. I lost before we got to 5,000. We need to spend an extra 2,000. So we only did 3,000 floors. Right, and this should zero our resources. So what I want to test next is if we stick back the frying pans, if that at least boosts our uranium find a little bit, right? Just, you know, sort of minimalistically utilizing the chef. That should be all the items done. Right, we got 85 uranium off 2,000. So yeah, around 42, around 40 per 1,000. But we will grab the same comp and I will tweak it a little bit so that we can regain our food. Right, how many do we have? We have 3, perfect. That's why it's bugged, because it's everything shifted up because of the HP and attack value. So basically, it's the same comp, but we're running frying pans as a way to try and get some more. You could probably go for the 80 item find as well to make it a bit more spot on. Why don't we do that? What do I want to sacrifice? Probably the geodes. The geodes are the weakest. Right, is there something that gives more item find? I don't think there's anything more powerful than the silver pendants, right? No. So we'll equip 5 of those, and we should be close to 80, I'd assume, especially with the uranium. We might even be a tad over. What are we at? 70? Yeah, I wish it would be perfect. It's not going to be perfect. Let's try the clover. Clover gets us to 76. The pendant gets us to 83. We'll let go at 83, right? Well, we get to 81 if I use a clover instead of the wraps. Oh, clover. 82. It's not so bad. 82 instead of 83. I think the wraps eats up too many resources, so we'll do this, right? Then we'll go to 5,000 and we'll spend 1,000 credits. So basically we're starting at 0 resources, so we'll get the least amount of souffle uses, but I'm pretty sure in terms of spending battle credits, this will be more efficient than farming items. So we go, spend 1,000, and we should still get more than the basic amount of uranium, which was 8, wasn't it? So if we end, view loot, we go to uranium, we got 9. Yeah, that's not a lot. It's not a lot at all. Mainly because it's unpredictable if you can control where you get the uranium. So I think the better thing to do probably rather than using thieves to find items, is to do a mining comp to find items, to restock, and then do a mining comp to spend. But I think we'll leave it here. So what do we know? We know, again, chef boosts greatly, but it has a huge toll because of the resources. 5 miners and a chef is optimal for the souffles because of the chef's speed. You probably don't want to use the wraps. I was probably insane in using them. Pretty sure you get to max stacks without the bonus speed, and it's just a waste of food. Yeah, but we'll leave it there because this is dragging on, and I guess we'll do mining part 2, which will tackle a better item find setup, right? We'll probably just summarize our findings, I think, make it a bit more clearer for anyone watching, and then we'll also tackle a mining comp for the primal lands, because I do want more labradorites for battle credits. I don't know if I'll progress on this file, but, you know, it's worth having. Anyway, see ya!